Sputnik was the first artificial Earth satellite. It is a 58-centimeter diameter polished metal sphere with 4 external radio antennae to broadcast radio pulses. The Soviet Union launched it into an elliptical low Earth orbit on October 4, 1957. It was visible all around the Earth and its radio pulses detectable. The surprise success precipitated the American Sputnik crisis, began the space age, and triggered the space race, a part of the larger Cold War. The launch ushered in new political, military, technological, and scientific development. During the early 1950s, the Russians had a much better space program than the Americans. However, both countries knew that success in space would mean success in the Cold War because of the advantages in espionage that advanced satellites would provide. President John F. Kennedy knew this, so he made a speech promising that the United States would make it to the moon within 10 years before the Russians.
We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win.
In order to reach the goal set by President Kennedy, NASA initiated the Apollo program. After several years of development and careful planning, the Apollo program reached its goal when Neil Armstrong became the first man to walk on the moon.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Up until the late 1970s, spacecraft were single-use vehicles. They could not be reused. This was quite expensive and put a heavy financial strain on the space program. So NASA developed the Space Shuttle, a reusable spacecraft that would greatly reduce the cost of space travel. Unlike previous spacecraft, the Space Shuttle was designed as a glider, so it could land on a runway, causing minimal damage. The Space Shuttle was used for very important missions. It helped to build the International Space Station, and it also serviced many important satellites, such as the Hubble Space Telescope.